racing points here, not pre-season race, round 1. Completely lost track of where we were. And tonight we will be racing at the home of ice hockey, maple syrup, and according to Americans, saying sorry. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's of course Canada, Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal. And I'll be commentating with my co-commentator Jamie.
Hello Carol, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing very well and I'm excited for this race. It is my favourite circuit on the F1 calendar, so I'm really hyped for this one.
Yeah, this should be a really good track. Obviously, it's a classic on the F1 season. We've had a lot of great races here in the past, and I think with a new season starting here, it should be exciting. And season 16, we had a lot of rain here in all the tiers, so do not be surprised to see some rain.
And many drivers were saying that they definitely do not want to see rain. I don't think there was even one positive comment about the rain. So, yeah, rain is definitely hated around this track.
Now, yeah, as I'll quickly run through the track facts for you, this is a 4.3 kilometre track, or 2.7 mile. It's got 14 corners, 6 left-handed, 8 right-handed. There's going to be 35 laps in this track, and there's going to be 3 DRS zones. And the corner cutting is going to be set to strict, as all our tracks are this season. The track direction is clockwise, and the mandatory pit stop is a 2-stop, but we believe the strategy will be soft, medium, medium. The softs will last for 12 laps, the mediums will last for 19 laps, and the hards will last for 24 laps. It's a C5, C4 and C3 tyres, and the average pit loss around here is 16.5 seconds, with 25 races being held in one hub racing, 12 during 12 seasons.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very interesting one, and it's just going to run you through the sponsors for tonight's race, get them out of the way before qualifying, before all the racing action that we will see tonight. The sponsors are Next Level Racing, who will be providing a GT Light cockpit for our giveaway winner, Liam RBS, who is giving the trophies for the drivers this season, and 3M Sim Racing, who will be providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with the most poles and the driver with the most fastest laps this season.
Yeah, and we've got 2 partners this season. We've got Verspatine, who are going to sponsor our prizes for this season. We've got ERT, who are sponsoring the Go and Get Stuff Award. And to mention ERT, we do have 3 ERT drivers in this tier. They are Thomas and Dexter in the Mercedes, and Jordan in the Renault. And finally, we've got a collaboration with Time to Print, and what they're doing, that they've got a nice little gift. You get 20% off this track's. This track's like, you get key cutting with this track. You get 20% off on the Etsy store using the code OneHubRacing. So if you fancy a little keyring of the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, go on there. You get a nice 20% discount.
Yeah, it is definitely a good deal, 20% off. I might even get it myself. And yeah, now going probably onto the driver lineups for this season. If I'm not forgetting anything, it is ERT Thomas and ERT Dexter will be driving in the Mercedes. So full ERT team, and yeah, I'm pretty familiar with both of them. So it should be a very good lineup, and as Dexter said, that he will be looking to get the Constructors' Championship this season.
Yeah, obviously it was mentioned in the press conference, that question, and he was asked about it, and yes, and yeah, he did mention that. And him and Thomas, I know they're good friends off track, and they're looking for a good start of the season. The Mercedes, a lot of pressure in Mercedes, because that is the most successful team in One Hub Racing.
Yeah, a lot of pressure under their shoulders, and in the Ferrari will be Aaron JS and Zipa, so a driver you know very well, and another driver that I know very well from my podium tier. And I have a feeling if Zipa is consistent with his racing, they could definitely challenge up there.
Yeah, Aaron JRC was my former teammate since season 16, and he's a really quick driver, and he's mainly racing the bottom tier, but he's moved his way up this season, and he had a strong race in the pre-season race, finishing third, and I wouldn't be surprised him up there again in other races. And he was asked in his pre-race question, he answered no. The question was asked, no time to tune up. How do you think you'll fare out there? And what he answered, he said, it should be okay, but he's got to keep between lines, and that's an issue of Aaron sometimes. Sometimes Aaron did pick up one too many penalties in season 16.
Yeah, penalties will definitely be an issue, and two drivers that came up from the prospects here to now the points here are Gazaman and Truve NRP, who will be racing for the Red Bull Racing team, and it is another very good lineup. Two rookies in this tier. I mean, everyone is a rookie in this tier, but maybe some, I want to say, they haven't raced at this level yet in one hub.
No, yeah, obviously they were second and third respective in the prospect here last season, so they're definitely two really good drivers. Gazza, another one of my teammates, one of the most experienced drivers in one hub history. Gazza's done over 110 race starts, so yeah, he's very experienced, got really good racecraft, and Gazza had a strong race last week, driver of the day, and I do expect to see some more good stuff from him this season. He's very clean. He's yet to have a pole position though, so maybe he gets an inaugural pole this season.
He definitely could, and in the McLaren team it is Aero Specialist and Lorenzi. I know we're taking a long time with these driver lineups, but it is important for the viewers and us to have a chat about them. And I commentated over both of them racing last season. You might not know them as much, but they are definitely very quick drivers, especially on their day. They might be a little bit off the pace sometimes, but on their day they are bloody rapid.
Yeah, obviously Aero did win the previous race, and Lawrence, I do know of him, he is quite a quick driver, but Lawrence, he has been, in my view, a bit of an underachiever in one hub racing, and he was actually mentioned the hot and cold on the media day, and he was in the cold list. What the media day said, he was perhaps unfortunate to not have more points in his locker, maybe a new tier, he's sort of effectively moved down a tier, maybe that might help him out.
Yeah, I think it could help him out, as now checking on the track it is quite cloudy, so we could even see some rain later on. Continuing with the driver lineups is another ERT driver, ERT Jordan. He is in the Renault, and just Mikey will pair up with him.
Yes, it's an interesting lineup. Obviously, just Mikey. He hasn't done many races in ERT Jordan. He did race last season, and I think ERT Jordan, he looks quite quick. He did show some decent pace last season, finishing 7th in the podium tier, and that could be interesting pairing, because Renault yet to win a championship in one hub racing, and with the lineups Renault have got this season, I think Renault could win a championship in one of the tiers. Will it be this one?
Yeah, they can, and I mean, it is a strong pairing, so they do have a chance for it. And in the Racing Point is Flace and Matthias, and I do not know much about them, so I'll definitely have to take a closer look at them this weekend.
Yeah, Flace mentioned in the Prix interview that there was a question about any areas concerned for this race week, and he mentioned turns 1 to 4, and that could be a potential danger zone, as it's on track now. He's just come through that section, so yeah, that's one of the key area points where I think an instance could happen, especially at the start.
Yeah, it is probably going to be the case. Everyone jumbled up at the start, so maybe some front wing flying around the track. And then in the AlphaTauri it is Trunders and Killplane. Trunders will definitely be looking to improve on his pace from last season, as it was quite underwhelming from the British driver. And then the Killplane, the Estonian, I mean, I also haven't seen much of him, so he'll be a new driver for me.
Yeah, Killplane is making his one hub debut this season. Quite a few rookies this season. And speaking of Trunders being underachieving, he was actually answered this in his pre-race questions. The question was, well, the season's finally here. On a scale of Ricciardo Raw to Senna Euphoria, where are you on the scale of the excitement to come back? What Trunders said this is he can't wait to get started. Last season he fell short of his own personal goals, but he's been improving during the break, and hopefully for him it pays off.
Yeah, and then we have an all-Welsh team in the Alfa Romeo. It is Ivor, Bryn, Mike and Hooky, so they'll be pairing up, and is a nice pairing, especially with the nationality. So we could see some maybe good teamwork there.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that should be good, and obviously you've got two rookies. That'd be interesting to keep down. Two rookies, and so yeah, two rookies, two Welsh guys, and by the sounds of it, they seem to get on quite well. And we wish them the best of luck, obviously, making their debuts tonight.
Yeah, and then in the Haas F1 team, it is going to be LR Delta and Epic Scorpion. So I've commentated over Scorpion, but not this one. And Delta, he is a very good driver, and he could be there. I'd say he could challenge for the top 10 this season.
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen much of Epic Scorpion, so he's going to be another driver who will have to at least prove himself to the commentators.
Yeah, yet again, they are two rookies in one hub racing, so yeah, hard. Just keep an eye on what they do, and yeah, obviously with two rookies, and so you don't know what they're capable of, so that'd be one to keep an eye out for sure, as Delta's done quite a solid first lap in qualifying so far, but yeah, that should be a good one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and then the last team, at least on the screen I have here, it is the Williams Racing Team, and we have Sir Quinniff and VXI_MCFC, but he just told me before the race to call him Billy, and I will certainly will, as it is a lot easier to say that. And yeah, Sir Quinniff, he ended his season last season, I'd say, on a high for him. It was only 1 point, but it was that 1 point that elevated him from 0 points. And yeah, he'll definitely be looking to improve on that. And Billy, I haven't seen much from him recently, so another driver who, I mean, we'll have to see more of throughout the season.
Yeah, Quinniff in what will probably be an easier tier, should do quite well, but I know for sure Canada's a track, it's his least favourite circuit, so what he mentioned to me earlier is he just wants to avoid getting penalties and try and get some sort of points. And yeah, and Billy, yeah, not knowing him, he was racing Prospect here last season, he was actually the quickest guy in qualifying night for Prospect here at C17, but he didn't really have a clean race last season, hence his quite low result in the standings, only 13th Prospect here, but his pace has essentially moved up a tier. So yeah, he is quite quick, but he is quite consistent. I see he's already DNF qualifying, so he had a qualifying ban, so yeah, he had a qualifying ban for failing to configure his tasks that was mentioned in the stewards. So yeah, he's got to start from the back today, but that might help him out, maybe keep him out of trouble a little bit, maybe just try and pick his way through the carnage. It
is maybe a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't call it that, but who knows? If there is carnage at the start, he just might get away with it. And now we're on to qualifying, 12 minutes remaining. Some banker laps have been set, but a lot of these drivers, their lap times got invalidated, as we are on strict corner cutting rules, and they are very harsh around the circuit.
Yeah, they are. I expect to see a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties on there, and in the past one race we've actually seen drivers get disqualified for corner cutting too much, and I think it's around 30 seconds you're allowed, so I don't expect to see that tonight, but you never know. And it's so easy to validate a lap around here, and if you don't get any penalties on there, you're doing an incredible job, and you will jump up multiple places by the end of this race.
Yeah, and now Gazaman, he's coming up to the line quite shortly. He has Matthias ahead of him. He got a little bit of slipstream from him, but I think he's to load him down a little going into turn 13 and 14. Now up to the line is going to be 5th position for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, and Gazaman was, as I mentioned, that Lawrence mentioned, the cold driver. Gazaman was the hot driver. Obviously, he really improved in the second half of last season. He's very unlucky not to win a race last season, the Prospect here, and he deservedly moved up a tier. But how would he react to this? Well, if pre-season races anything to go by, he definitely is responding positively, and he seems quite happy and not being in that bottom tier anymore.
Yeah, that will definitely boost his confidence. Yeah, at least if I was him, that would boost my confidence. And now looking at drivers who are on their flying lap, 10 minutes remaining, so still a lot of time for these drivers. I just wanted to mention how close it is between the top 5, 1/10 separating them so far, and it shows how close this here is.
Yeah, it is for sure. As I believe Matthias, yeah, it's very competitive, and this is quite a short track, so I do expect to see times quite close. But that's good to see. As Matthias, obviously, didn't have such a good race last in the Prix race. He's had a decent lap so far. What can he do? Can he get in that front cluster? He's got the cluster line now. He moves up to 6th place, so he's about 3/10 off Paul. A decent lap for Matthias so far. He'll be looking just to have a nice solid race this week.
I mean, if I was him, start of the season, it's good to start on some points, but try not to get so aggressive. As Lawrence Lee, he sets the exact same lap time as Truth NRP, but he goes in front.
Yeah, that's weird, because I don't expect the guy set lap time first going front, but yeah, look front. Look at the front four, separated by 200. That is incredible. And two of the guys were in the prospect and Gazza Manning 6. So these prospect guys moving up are definitely doing a good job so far. There's see a couple of guys moving up, but there is quite a few gradations down the bottom. There's Thomas, Quinneth, Hookie, Scorpion, and Kip Lane, and yet set lap times.
Yeah, no, Dexter, if I'm not mistaken, he is on a lap in his Mercedes, and it is looking like a decent lap time for the Danish driver. 21.8, so 3/10 slower than the fastest Sector 2 time. And let's see what he can do going into the last few corners, as Truth NRP sets the fastest lap time so far. And now Dexter, will he be able to beat it? No, he doesn't. It's only 11th place.
No, yeah, not the greatest lap there from so far, but he's only 8/10 off Paul. It shows you how competitive the tier is. You're 8/10 off and you're down at 11th. You're outside the top 10, so... but qualifying outside the top 10 might be a blessing for him, because he'll get fresh set tyres, but I'm pretty sure he wants to qualify high up, because he can get stuck in trains around here. As DRS train with 3 DRS zones, I think will be quite prevalent in the race.
Yeah, Sir Quinneth in the chat, he kind of ruined my speculations of, oh, it's cloudy out there, so there could be rain. No, it's a dry quali and a dry race. So that kind of ruins it for everyone. Thank you there, Sir Quinneth. Of course, nothing personal. And now Jordan, I think he's coming up to a line, and maybe for a out lap and now a flying lap, because this does not look competitive right now. E.R.T. Thomas, the second Mercedes, he is now on the lap. So let's see what he can do going up to the Sector 2 split. What will it be? It's 40.8, and where does that put him compared to the rest of the grid? He's only 1/10 behind the fastest Sector 2 time.
Yeah, he might get a slip shift in this car ahead, this Alpha Tyre. He might get a nice slip shift here. This might be a position lap if he nails this final sector, which is so difficult to do. He's quite smooth there, though. He's going to take the tight line to the line. He does. What's he going to do? This might be pole position for Thomas. He moved to 2nd place. Wow, he's only a couple of hundredths off pole, and yeah, I believe Thomas did gain a little bit of slipstream from the Alpha Tauri coming into the pits, which should help him in that final sector. But Truth and that piece final sector is still quicker though.
And now Gazman, he is on a lap, and he's going quicker than before. He set the fastest sector 1 time, and now he also went down on Delta's sector 2 time, so Delta's fastest sector 2 time, it looks very quick compared to the rest of the grid. And now Gazman, he will not have slipstream like Thomas, but now coming up to the line, going out of turn 13 and 14, what will it be? 8th gear now, and it's provisional pole position for the Red Bull, and it's a 1-2 right now.
Yeah, the Red Bull team looking strong as ever, and yeah, as Thomas, yeah, that's a good lap there for Gaz. Obviously, yet to get pole position, and I think he's desperate to get a pole. He's not known for his qualifying, but this is really good. This is really good news for Gaz, because he's more known for his race pace, and if he's qualifying higher, boy, we should expect him to race quite well. So this is great news for the Scotsman.
Yeah, he probably will be praying to get that pole position tonight, as I have a feeling it is quite important around this track. Short run up to the line, to the first corner from the starting grid. and it's a pretty tight one. So if you get that advantage there, you might pull maybe a second lead on lap 1.
Yeah, it's Jordan's crossline now. He's going to improve his lap. What can he do? I was meant to be a bit higher than 12th. Crossline moved to 8th place, and Jordan was asked in the rivalries. There was 2 rivalries between Jordan and Aero Specialist. Jordan was asked, what did you do out there that Aero failed to do last season? And Jordan said, I would have said he had more penalties than me, and he's aggressive overtaking. So a bit of a dig there, Aero Specialist from Jordan. Obviously, that those 2 raced quite close last season. Sir Gwyneth, good lap time for him in Williams in 3rd place. That's good to see him. Sir Gwyneth showing some decent pace on a track where he's not expected to do so well.
Sir Gwyneth will probably try to, well, he'll definitely try to bounce back from that disappointing season that he had in season 17. And he'll probably try to prove maybe the critics wrong.
Yeah, and he was asked about his biggest threat this season in the pre-race questions, and what he said, he didn't really mention any threats. He said his aim this season is just to get a top 10 finish, but to get more points finishes. So he's just aiming to get them tons of points finishes and move a bit higher up and build experience, I think. So that's a nice target for him. I believe he's definitely capable of that target.
If he keeps up these good qualifying results, as he is now in 3rd position, he could definitely get that into that top 10. As now Kilplane, he is finishing his lap, not hitting the wall of champions, and now coming up to the line, it's 14th place for the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, his teammate Chunders moves up to 11th place, but he validated his laps. The AlphaTauri guys, they're not finding the best pace at the moment. They're not finding the key critical points at this track yet. They haven't got much time left. They've got 3 minutes, so only one more run, and for likes of, I believe that's going to be a struggle for them guys to get out again. They won't be able to get out again. So this is their final run now. There's a lot of guys are in the pits preparing to come out, so I'll do a quick run down top 10 for you. We've got Gazzaman on pole, Chufa and RP in 2nd, Gwyneth in 3rd, Thomas in 4th, Delta 5th, Lawrence 6th, Aaron in 7th, Mike in 8th, Jordan in 9th, and Aero Specialist in 10th.
Yeah, so I mean, it's looking very close there in the top 10. How much is it? 5-10 separating 1st and 10th, and then only 1 second from 1st to last. So it is very close margins, and everyone could be there in the top 5.
Yes, Epic Scorpion's about to finish lap. He's yet to set lap time. This is good from so far. It's a clean lap. What can he do? We don't really know his pace. He's going to cross line now. Where would he round up? He's up to 14th place. So you would say 14th place. He might be disappointed with that. It was only 7/10 off Paul. It just shows you how tight this field is.
Yeah, as now Hooky, he gets up to 17th from 18th. So he the most just Mikey down to 19th, and I think just Mikey is on a lap.
Yeah, he's improving. He's a couple of temps up. He's a couple of temps up in the middle sector, so he may leapfrog Scorpion here with a good final sector. He comes through the final sector now. Got to be very close. Shade that wall as close as possible. He's going to take the tight line. No, he runs out wide. He loses himself a bit of time there. He's cross the line. What can he do? He moves to 15th place.
A man who will definitely want to improve his next sector. His teammate up in 4th. He is down in 17th. So he's not doing well compared to his teammate, and it is, I mean, it's not looking great for him.
No, it isn't, and he's coming up the pits now. He's leaving that quite tight. He should be alright, because he do cut a lot of the first 2 corners, but he's only got a minute to do his outlap. He's timed that quite tight. I think he should be okay, but he won't be able to do the ideal outlap. His tyres might be a little bit overheated if he starts flying lap.
Yeah, they might be a little bit overheated. And now checking who is close to finishing their lap times. I think Epic Scorpion, was he on another lap? No, he wasn't. But I think he's on a lap now, so he'll definitely be pushing it. As Flies, he is retiring from the session, I imagine.
Yeah, he's just getting out of the way of everybody, I think. Yeah, he's trying not to block on the way. Obviously, if he doesn't retire on track, and his car might get in the way of drivers, so he's got to be aware here as he could look set times. And Gazzaman's purple in the first two sectors.
As
Can
Fleiss
Gazzaman?
has been disqualified.
Yeah, I thought it was just Kufan RP gets pole, but if Gazzaman nails the final sector, he should get pole position. He should make it back on his team. Yes, he does. Gazzaman with a 106.6. He lows the benchmark. What can anyone do? Thomas is off. Lawrence cross line in 5th place. I believe Aero Specialist on a good lap. He's purple the final sector. What can he do? It's going to be quite tight with Gazzaman. Gazzaman's got the advantage in the first sector. So Thomas, Aero Specialist, is going to have to nail this final sector. As he crosses the line now, what can he do?
What a lap from Aero Specialist. 1 minute 8.6. So the underdog here. He gets pole position, but I think there's still some drivers who are yet to cross the finish line. Jordan, he hasn't validated. Ivor Bryn Mike hasn't validated. Is Kilplane on a lap? Yes, he is, but he is down on his time. So I think that will be Aero Specialist on pole position for tonight.
Yeah, it's Kilpain has improved by 4 attempts in that middle sector, so he may sneak in the top 10 this lap here, but yeah, especially Nat on the back of Gazzaman, he'll be gutted. He wants pole position. He thought he had it. He's really good lap there, but Aero Specialist, he was pole in the pre-season race. He's pole here, but for good news for Gazzaman, his teammate was quite quick. Trooping P in 3rd place, and Kilpain was 6th place. Good lap there for him in the end without time, man. So yeah, and Sir Quinneth, shout out to him. Decent qualified 4th place, and Sir Quinneth, he's definitely improved from the pre-season race, so he looked a little bit rusty. That was enjoyable qualification, obviously quite tight. Look at the whole field separated by 1.2 seconds, and actually second separates first to 16th. So what a competitive grid we have in order, and wow, it's going to be difficult to put two to the win. But on pole position, we do have Aero Specialist in the McLaren. In 2nd place, we've got Gazzaman in the Red Bull. In 3rd, Chief NRP in the Red Bull. In 4th place, we've got Quinneth in the Williams. In 5th, we've got Thomas in the Mercedes. In 6th place, we've got Kilplane in the Alpha Tauri. In 7th, we've got Lawrence in the McLaren. In 8th, we've got Delta in the Haas. In 9th, we've got Aaron JS in the Ferrari. In 10th place, we've got Mike in the Alfa Romeo. 11th place we have Jordan in the Renault. In 12th we have Mateus in the Racing Point. In 13th we've got Trunders in the AlphaTauri. 14th it's Epic Scorpion in the Haas. 15th is Just Mikey in the Renault. 16th is Dexter in the Mercedes. 17th is Huki in the Alfa Romeo, and Billy is 19th, 18th in the Williams, and Fleiss, who obviously disqualified. That's back to the good in the Racing Point. Obviously trying to get out of his way, but he was stopped for a little bit too long for the game's liking.
Yeah, which means Billy, he will be starting in 18th instead of last position. But just wanted to mention our rivals here. Jordan down in 11th, and the man who completely went under my radar, Aero Specialist, he's up on pole position. So, I mean, the rivals pretty split.
Yeah, obviously Aero Specialist, he didn't answer his question, but his question was, your team is better overall, so would you expect Renault to be a one-man team? Well, I have to say, neither of the Renault guys did that good at qualifying, so it might be a no-man team. But yeah, that's what he might have said in my view. But yeah, it's a dry race, but this track does look very overcast, I have to say. It doesn't look the nicest of weather conditions, and so all the drivers' fears of rain, it's not going to happen, and this should be good. And Truth NRP, our guy who's 3rd on the grid, he was asked, no time to turn up, how do you think you'll fare out there? And he said he still has no idea where he'll be, but he thinks he'll be ahead of his former prospect drivers and maybe the back marks from the podium tier, from the former podium tier, so hopefully around 6th or 10th. Well, he's ahead of his target so far, but Gazzaman, he's nicked him, his teammate. But the Red Bull guys, Gazzaman has got 2 such championships already in one of racing. I wonder if he might get a 3rd.
Yeah, he could. And just wanted to mention Sir Quinneth, he was in the chat, and he said that he did not expect being up in 1st position. He thought he'd be way lower, and I mean, it's a great result from him. Yeah, another completely unexpected one as Aero Specialist. I think he stalled there a little.
Yeah, thanks for him, he will be able to regain his position. But yeah, maybe he was caught a little bit sleeping there as he does run a little bit deep into turn one, which is quite a difficult place. He's understeering to turn one, and actually the stewards briefing, they did mention the pit lane, because obviously the pit lane is on the outside of the start of the final chicane, and it did mention that drivers may be coming to pits, and drivers may be racing side by side, so they want the drivers to be a little bit careful, and drivers who are pitting should stick on the outside, and if you see a car that's racing ahead of them, just be a little bit careful, don't run into the back of them, because I've seen, even in real F1, we have seen cars coming to pits hit the rear of cars ahead, so hopefully that should be something that the drivers would be able to heed.
Yeah, and thankfully there's no red light situation anymore in the pit lane, as that did cause some controversy in 2008 when Lewis Hamilton just smashed the back of Kimi Raikkonen, I want to say that was. And now the predicted pit stop strategy, soft, medium, medium, or medium, medium, hard, and only two drivers on the medium sector who will try to probably go long into the race so he can regain those positions, and Billy.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys want to, obviously the soft tyres, I mean, to go to on lap 6, lap 7, then pit for mediums, and then go lap 20 another set of mediums. But yeah, them guys are mediums, they want to go a really long first stint. And then what them guys mediums don't want an early safety car, because obviously if a man's with 2-stop, if a safety car to come out lap 1, expect the majority of drivers in his pit. So as the formation lap's about to end, I'm going to quickly call you, Carol. Who do you think's going to win this race?
Oh, I really don't want to give anyone the commentator's curse, but I think Gazaman's looking very good for the race win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Quinneth. Why not? A nice win, a very nice story.
But now, as we're waiting for the red lights to come on, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are green in Montreal, and it's not the best start from Aero Specialist. Gazaman right on him. As now I'm waiting for the camera angles to change, not the best camera angles. And we see there Sir Quinn, if he goes down to 5th position, as that was an AlphaTauri overtaking him of Killplane. As yeah, the timing glitch is trying to fix itself. Don't see much. LR Delta, he is up ahead of Thomas, so not the best start from the Mercedes driver. And I think there was a tangle there between Killplane and Truth NRP, as Truth NRP, he's down to 5th, Delta down to 6th, Killplane in 7th, and it's been quite a chaotic start. Sir Gwyneth 2.6 seconds behind Gazaman.
Yeah, definitely big Killplane and Truth. The wheels just kept together, and Truth and Happy. He had a decent launch off the line, but he had no go with it. And you have to say, yeah, especially he was still good off the line, but he managed to hold on. And Gazaman is right with him, and these front two are pulled away. But Quinneth had quite a poor start, but he took an advantage of Truth and RP and Killplane come together. But now Lawrence is back, and there's a bit of a train behind the winners man already. These front two just look like pull away. And yeah, decent start there. Truth NIP gets very close to the back of Lawrence. Aaron's got a penalty already. That's not what he wanted. But yeah, quite a chaotic first lap, and a bit of damage. Chunders, Matthias, Epic Scorpion, and Mike all got wind damage on lap 1. So quite a few collisions further down the field.
And I forgot who exactly said it, but it was mentioned in the pre-race interviews that turns 1 to 4 will be chaotic at the start, and they sure will, as we see here. Many drivers with wing damage. Billy, he's up to 13th place, and I think Matthias and Fleiss will be fighting for a position soon. There might be some team orders happening, but with no DRS yet, it might be a challenge overtaking in these cars. But now Thomas, oh, he's in the wall. He tried to overtake, who was it, Delta, but he just got some snap overs here, and now he's down to 11th, missing some of his front wing, down to 12th as Mikey overtakes him at the hairpin. So it's not been a very good start for Thomas.
No, he's going to have to pit. He's lost his whole end plate there. He's going to have to pit. Yeah, that's a nightmare for him. I just caught the end of that. But yeah, Thomas, who had a solid qualifying session, and quite a decent first lap, but yeah, he's just a little bit over eager there. He's going to come in the pits now. Be careful. The pit line comes up quite early there, and he's going to have to pit and pray for safety cars. All the guys there back are, and I'd say Jack's next to his teammate had a decent start there. He's in the top 10, up 6 places, and Killplane and Truth NRP, they're the big losers in the start, apart from the guys who obviously had to change the wings. As Aero Specialist, is broken DRS from Gaza, but Gaza's just about hanging on.
Yeah, it's very crucial to break that DRS, and Sir Quinn, if he is in the same position, he has Lawrence C right behind him, 5/10 the gap is, and Truth and RP are just behind Lawrence, so there may be quite a big battle for third position, as Lawrence, he didn't take the optimum racing line through that chicane, and now Truth and RP is right on the back of him.
Yeah, before DRS, that hairpin was a massive alternative, and now they all just wait for this long straight, because this is where most of the overtake out. But Lawrence got, our race Primjab got really good traction there, and he's going to, and Truth and RP did not, and Lawrence might have a run at Sequinif here, but it's going to run out of time there. But these three guys, they definitely look like an exciting battle, but it's just allowing these front two to pull away, as Truth and RP got a good run through the final chicane there. He's going to send it down the inside turn one, is he? Thinks about it. Lawrence defends outside, a little bit of contact there. I think Truth and RP will be alright there, but Lawrence just about held on.
Yeah, Truth and RP did lock off his tires after that, a little bit of contact, but you can see here, Lawrence, he completely pulls away on the straight, but in the corners he gets bogged down, so that just shows how little downforce he's running with.
Yeah, it's going to be very treacherous for him, especially in these soft tyres where the grip's going to fall away quite quickly, so you do expect to see the pit as in lap 6, so yeah, traction is going to be quite difficult for these drivers. As Gaza, man, is he still in DRS? He's just about, I think, and that DRS may help him drag along as Truth and RP is going to look quite close to Lawrence now. As Lawrence runs a little bit deep in the hairpin, that might give him a better exit though. Yes, it does, and Lawrence just has the superior traction, but Truth and RP does definitely haul him in the straights. Ken Lawrence is going to look Sequinif here, but I think he's a bit too far back. Sequinif is defending the inside line quite early there. He does hang on. Now he's got to get a good run through here. He does. Lawrence is a little bit twitchy through there. Truth and RP's fall back. Now Lawrence, is he going to send it on the inside turn one? Sequinif does think about defending it, he doesn't have to in the end because Lawrence falls back.
Yeah, as Matthias now, if trailing time penalty, and I did see that Sir Quinniff has a penalty, so that's very unfortunate for the British driver here. As Gazaman, he has caught up a lot to Aero Specialist. Truth NRB in the pre-race interview said that rear tyres will be a problem, the tyre wear on them, as this track just eats them for breakfast, and you can see a lot of these drivers already losing traction.
Yeah, they are, for sure, and it's going to be quite difficult. This pit stop's going to come up very shortly though, so fresh mediums coming up for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, and Lawrence C, he is on a low ERS, so that won't help him in the battle for third, and it won't help him while trying to defend for fourth. But Sir Quinn, if he went really wide, as that is Jamie who has some feeling connection issues, not too sure. But now Truth NRP, he's going to go for a move on the McLaren driver down the inside, going into turn 13 and 14. And will he make the move 6? No, he doesn't. He lets Lawrence pass, but it's a switchback from Truth NRP. I think that will be ahead. That will be him ahead of the McLaren driver. Yes, it is. Aaron JS here watching, probably with some popcorn in his hand and Coke in the other, just watching this amazing battle unfolding. And now Lawrence C with a 3-second time penalty, so that's unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Truth NRP, Gazaman and Aero Specialist, 3 drivers with foul penalties in the top 6, as Jess Games raised us with a parity of 3, so thank you there, Jess. That's my first ever raid, not really on my channel, but on the One Hub Racing channel. And now Aaron JS, he is looking like he could make a move on Lawrence C pretty soon, as Lawrence C, he takes onto the grass a little. I don't think Aaron will be close enough to the McLaren driver, as Jamie is back in the party. And now let's see what's happening here. Truth and RP, he locks up a little going into the last chicane, and thankfully for him, Sir Gwyneth didn't do the best job through that section as well, so he is able to catch right back up. And now RNJS and Just Mikey are the first drivers to go into the pits on lap 7.
Yeah, like I predicted, they're around lap 6, lap 7, and these guys are on a set of mediums now, and it's up to them what they want to do, but I think they'll go for 2 sets of mediums, as yeah, you expect to see that pit lane, see a lot of action these next 2 or 3 laps, especially in these medium guys. They'll stay out there and they'll try and build up an advantage, but this pit lane is going to be quite chaotic, and a lot of guys will be flying through turn 1, turn 2, so if you see a guy behind, do not be surprised to see him ahead coming out of the exit turn 2.
And now Truth NRP, he is losing a lot of traction, you can see here, so he's probably going to pit in pretty soon, and he nearly lost it in the Vettel corner, as you called it before, and I mean he is also in the Red Bull, so we could even see a spinner there, as that is Aero Specialist and Gazaman into the pits, and that leaves Truth NRP having to stay out.
Yeah, obviously with teammates you can't double stack, you lose 2, 3 or 4 seconds. Yeah, True Fan's got to stay out and just try and build a momentum back. So Gwyneth now leads the race. I believe it's the first time Gwyneth has led or won her race.
It does look like it, but he is under a lot of pressure from the driver behind him, as he is losing traction through there. I'm not sure, he might have the wrong setup on. He does not look very confident with his car.
No, he doesn't, and I believe that might be due to tyre wear, as these tyres will be feeling very much second hand now, as the wear's in the 50% range for the rear tyres, and with wear being that high on the rear tyres, you are just going to lose all that traction, like the traction being minimal. Both these guys have to pit now, because the undercut is very powerful around the Gio Villeneuve circuit. If they stay out, they're going to lose a lot of track time to cars behind, so both going to have to pit now. So Gwyneth, and they're both in, that's the only decision, and Lawrence and Jordan should follow them in, so
Jordan stays out.
Interesting. Yeah, he may fancy a bit of extra tyre wear later on.
Yeah, and Killplane goes into the pits, so many drivers in the pits, and it is definitely a busy pit lane. And now going back up to the front, RNJS, he gets the fastest lap time of the race so far, 1 minute 11 seconds, .731. And right now is Jordan, Dexter, Billy, and Billy in the top 3, but this will all change. It will all go to Aero Specialist, Gazaman, and Delta.
Yeah, Delta, yeah, he's doing a solid job so far, I'd say. Yeah, he's in the net 3rd place, and I say he's rookie race, won a race, and he's certainly doing a solid job so far. And see, Jordan should surely be in this lap, as he's gone really understeering really deep in that hairpin. His tyres are shot. He has to be in this lap because he's on 58% on the rears. So, and then look at Dexter on the medium. Dexter's going to pass him easy down the straight now, and Jordan should be in this lap. The 2 ERT drivers side by side, and an easy overtake there for Dexter, who will lead the lap. As Dexter does lock up into the hairpin, into chicane, but thankfully he does make the apex.
Yeah, and just wanted to mention, still no victims at the Wall of Champions, which I'm quite surprised about. Back in the day, I remember a lot of the drivers, especially on games such as F1 2018, these drivers just slammed it into the Wall of Champions like there's no tomorrow. But here tonight, I haven't even seen a front wing there.
No, they're all been well behaved, for sure, and yeah, I believe, because it is quite low grip in that corner, so I'm quite surprised nobody has done it. But yeah, it's been quite. There's a few bumps and bruises in the first few laps, but apart from that, it's been quite a clean race, some good battles, and it seems quite a competitive field. These front 2, Aero Specialists and Gaza, definitely got an advantage. Aero Specialists just about holding Gaza at arm's length. I think that 1.2, 1.1 seconds, that's good for him, as they're both starting to catch Dexter and MCF and Billy. So yeah, this might be interesting. Our Aero Specialist deals with these 2 guys who are pit stop behind, but obviously they can still race, because on the race of track position, Dexter has done the move on Gwyneth. Going to be side by side, coming to the DRS straight. Dexter is Truth will have DRS, but Quinneth has got really good straight line speed. But Truth and IP should get moved on. He'll get double DRS down the pit straight. I believe Aaron JS Delta going side by side in the chicane. A bit of wheel banging there. Delta does scrape the wall, and Aaron JS does get through and be back up into a net third position.
Yeah, and Delta, he did look for the dive bomb, but he thought better of it, as now many drivers are getting 3-second time penalties. Aero Specialist, he is right at the back of Billy, who will be pitting in, I imagine, quite soon on these medium tyres. And just look how easy it is for a Specialist, the Northern Irish driver, getting past the Williams, and that's him up into second, now hunting down the Mercedes of Dexter.
Yeah, I believe Billy didn't make that too difficult for him. I think he knows the game was up with traction, but yeah, especially he won't get DRS down this straight because he 1.4 behind. You've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that for? Can't see anything.
I think that was a racing point. I think it was Flies, from what I saw on the mini map. But while we were talking about that, Truth and RP, he got up into 6th ahead of Delta, and he is on the soft tyres, so he might be going for a 3-stop here.
Yeah, Delta picked up slight wing damage from that contact with Aaron, who's in the pits now. Going to have to change his wing, and surely he's going to set hard and try and go to the end. There's also Lawrence in 8th place, has got slight wing damage as well, but he's hanging out in there. As Air Specialist is close to the back of Dexter now, as MTFC gets a penalty. I believe that's another penalty for him, as he's racking up the penalties. He's got 6-second time penalty, as Sir Quinneth's got 12 seconds of penalties now. So Sir Quinneth, he's definitely got pace around there, but he's batching up them penalties, which will knock him down the order by the end of the race.
That is not good news for Sir Quinneth, and I wanted to compare the two tyre wear levels of Dex Dexter and Billy. Dex Dexter, he is up in front in first, and the rear left tyre is on 34%, while Billy's is at 49%, so it just shows the difference maybe between experience here, as Gazaman, he gets in front of Billy, and Aero Specialist gets in front of Dex Dexter.
Yeah, quite easy work for both the two of them, just down to the straight, and I believe Dexter definitely back off into the corner, because he knows that is not his fight, and he might try and somehow hang on the back of the McLaren through this first sector and try and get DRS down get the first DRS zone, but it's going to be quite difficult for him. Air Specialist really good traction. As Gazaman, he's fallen back a little bit in this traffic. The gap's up to about 2 seconds, so as Air Specialist was really wide into the chicane there, but he's managed to hold it together, thankfully for him.
And Aaron Shaw, yes, he got overtaken by Truth and RP, really close to the back of Truth, as he did overshoot one of the chicanes, so that was a scary moment for Aaron JS. But he has a lot to play with right now. 60% ERS, 2 laps of fuel, which is definitely overweighing his car. But if he's smart with it, he's going to use all of it while trying to overtake.
Yeah, speaking of overfuel in his car, ERT Jordan in 10th place has got 8.5 laps over fuel, so so his car is definitely very heavy. It's definitely needs to be 10 a lap. Because the two medium guys are in, so this is our true race odds now when these guys come out. It's quite a good first stint though for the MCFC for Billy and Dexter. As Dexter will stay ahead. They'll come out around 9th and 10th place, I believe. Dexter will close with Hooky, but he may get him because he get a really good run, and Hooky he's just behind Hooky, ahead of his teammate Thomas. So the two Mercedes guys are fighting over 10th place.
Yeah, it's not looking like the best race for the Mercedes drivers. It was looking good as Flies gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Delta is out of the Grand Prix. I think he just retired out on track, and it does look like it.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like him coming out the turn 3. Yeah, look, he's hit the wall there, so I presume he's lost the traction, just spun it in the wall there. He's left the session. So our first DNF, no safety car, no virtual safety car. So we carry on. But yeah, lap 14 for our first DNF. That's quite going on a track like Canada. I thought I was expecting to see a few DNFs on lap 1.
Yeah, he was, and with 20 laps remaining now, Billy, he's going for a move on Trunders on this brand new set of softs, and it is a very easy move for the Williams driver, and it was light work for him.
Yeah, Billy is. Well, apart from just Mike, he's only got soft tyres. He's one of truth. So Billy on this run, this is a run where he has to push. He has to try and move up some places because he presumably going to mean tyres in the race. So yeah, Billy decided to go a little bit different on strategy, just to try and be a bit more aggressive, try and get himself a slightly better track position. He's working for so far because that's a good move there. And Chunders, as Thomas and Dexter, they're pretty close, but Thomas is on old medium, so I do expect to see Dexter to pull away from his teammate, as Air Specialist got a nice 2-second lead over Gazzaman with Truth and RP in a solid third place, but Truth and RP is on the soft tyres, so he's doing 2 stints on the softs, as Fleece has also retired. I believe that might be retired in the pit lane. I think he might have retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, it does look like it, as there is yellow flags in Sector 3, and yes, he did retire in the pit lane. We see his car is gone. And now Sir Quinn with another 2-second time penalty. I'm just going to check the penalty situation, and hopefully the viewers will be able to see them. Sir Quinn with 12 seconds, and Billy and or Lawrence both on 9 seconds. So especially the Williams drivers, they don't look like they're respecting many of the track limits, as Aero Specialist gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, shout out to Gazman, who's yet to pick up a single warning yet for the corner. So Gazman is definitely clean, and at the moment he's doing really good lap. So he's really closing the gap to McLaren man. So Gazman's on a good lap, and he's yet to pick up penalties. Gazman will get DRS in the McLaren man. So Gazman's having a solid few laps here after he lost it a little bit in the traffic of Dexter and Billy, but now Gazzaman's definitely back in this lead fight, and he's going to have DRS. These two guys, they were the first and second in the previous race, and these two guys, they're definitely on top so far in the round 1.
And Aero Specialist pulling away on this race, even when Gazzaman is using DRS. So Specialist probably using some of his overtake mode to try and pull away from that 1 second that he has, as he locks up into turns 1 and 2 the Senna S, and he loses 2/10 there.
Yeah, and that allows Gazza comes back up again. Yeah, Gazza definitely isn't more comfortable in the corners, but yeah, the McLaren is definitely got a lot less jerk, I think, down the straights. And Gazzaman is a deal to get down this straight, but this straight, it's not really no taking opportunity. It's more setting yourself up as. Yeah, again, Air Specialist seems like a really good traction at the corners, which is helping a lot there. As Chunders is in the pits again, so he's in for his second stop, changing his front wing, so he's on mediums, and that's going to be a bit of a stretch to get the mediums to the end of the race.
Yeah, that definitely will be a challenge for Trunders trying to get them to the end. And now Truth, just looking at his situation, he is on soft tyres, so he will definitely have to pit in.
Yeah, and obviously Truth will pit earlier, so he will get an undercut on the front two ahead, but it's a 5-second gap, and yeah, he will have an undercut, but it will, if he does somehow get ahead of the two guys ahead, he'll have to defend. You have to defend worn tyres, so I think the advantage is to the front two, but Truth and RP is looking good for the podium with not getting a single penalty yet, and the other guys around him have got 6, 12 and 15 seconds. And Kill playing as well, he's yet to pick up a penalty, and he's going to jump a lot of places if he just needs to keep within the vicinity of the 3 cars ahead if we get 4th place at this rate.
Yeah, I have a feeling that getting no penalties is way more profitable than just trying to push the car to the limits. And yeah, if Killplane does manage to pick up no more penalties with less than half of the Grand Prix remaining, he is looking very good points wise at the end.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we could have a 3 Red Bull branded car, 3 Red Bull branded cars in top 4 as yeah, take Thomas on these worn tyres. He's still hanging back at Dexter, and he's actually gaining his teammates as Billy has retired. I believe that is coming out of this third chicane right in the middle of the track, so I'm surprised that isn't at least a virtual safety car, as I believe
It is a
Might have.
virtual safety car, so that is RNJS, Truth and RP in the pit, and Laurent. So that's gonna be nearly a free pit stop, not really as much as on this under the safety car, but it surely will gain them time. And Truth and RP, I think his strategy might have been saved here.
Yeah, because he's going to go on the mediums, and he should. It's going to be tight, but he should be getting to the end. If Truth and RP has some good pace, I think Truth and RP will definitely be leading when the front two pit, unless the safety car does come out later on. But yeah, he managed to do that full pit stop under the VSC, which is such an advantage. Not so much around here because the pit loss isn't as much in other tracks, but you do definitely at least halve the pit loss. So that's good news for Truth NRP in the front two. They might be ruining their chances there because they were past the pit lane when that happened. So it's a bit unfortunate now. Now it's a green flag racing, so these front two, they're not going to get the opportunity. So if these front two, then they want to extend a little bit further and maybe try and have a better tyre delta to fight at the end of the race, because the medium pit stop window is opening very shortly, if not now.
Yeah, and next sector now, he's going to be vulnerable to the Red Bull of Truth and RP. He locked up into the hairpin, which lost him a little bit of time, but he is using all the ERS that he has, using overtake mode, and that doesn't allow Truth and RP to catch up to him. But I think it's going to be inevitable. One of these laps he will get past the Danish driver.
Yeah, because his teammate, because Dexter's teammate Thomas was on the back of him on much older tyres. Truth NFA on fresh tyres to superior traction, and I have to say the driver has been quicker this weekend to get through quite easy. Dexter looks a little bit nervous through these chicanes. I don't think that Mercedes is handling the way he wants.
Yeah, and it shows even with Thomas. Both Mercedes not looking themselves tonight, and they'll definitely be looking to bounce back next race weekend, because if they're going for the constructors, I don't think they'll manage it if every race looks like this.
No, obviously our point system, you do get points down the top 12, but if you want to be constructors, you need to be getting consistent top sixes of both drivers, and at the moment, I have to say it's not looking good for them. And the Red Bull team, I have to say they look favourites for the constructors. From what I've seen so far, they look the most consistent pair. Obviously, Zeppa is not racing tonight, and I'd say Aaron Zeppa would have been a strong pairing as Aaron is in the pits. Our race premium driver is going to come out now. Obviously, he had to wait a little bit. He's going to come out now on medium tyres. Where he's going to come. We're quite tight with Jordan, but he should come out ahead because he should be able to cut these first few corners now. Yes, he's just ahead of Jordan in 9th place, that ERT driver.
And now looking at Truth and RP, 2/10 behind Dexter. He's being very patient with him, but I think it is going to be the time to strike now. DRS wide open, overtake mode engaged, and that's him in front of the Mercedes, and now he's going to be looking to charge on, get in front of Hooky, Killplane, Gazaman and Aero Specialist.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. The gap to leader is 18 seconds. He definitely lost time, the Mercedes guy. But now he's got a bit of clean air. He wants to look, as the front two are both pitting, so it's going to be quite tight, but I do believe Ever Specialist for certain will be ahead of Truth. But I believe Gaz's going hard tyres. That's an interesting call for him. He's not too confident getting them softs to the end, mediums to the end, so Gaz's going for the hards, and Ever Specialist going for the mediums, and Truth NRP. It's going to be quite tight. Is Truth NRP ahead? Yes, he is. He's ahead of Aero Specialist and Gazaman. So Truth NRP does have the lead. Aero Specialist actually falling behind Gazaman there, so he must have had a bit of wing damage, or because
Yeah, it says Aero Specialist has changed his wing on TAS, so that could mean Aero Specialist is faster now, but he will have to get in front of the likes of Gazaman, Lawrence D, who I don't think will be pitting in, and Truth NRP.
Yeah, this VSC is definitely shaking out a little bit. Yeah, for sure. As Truth NRP now, we have to say no penalties and like a for a 3-second lead over Gaz. He's done good so far. Gaz on his hard tyres. These hard tyres going to take a while to warm up. So, Air Specialist, his next few laps, you want to close the gap on Gaz and try and attack him, because I believe that'll be Air Specialist's best opportunity to pull ahead, because the hard tyres, they do take good 2-3 laps to really get them in the ideal operating window. As the Air Specialist could get another penalty there, so he's going to have to pull a gap, because he's got 6 seconds of penalties over Gaza, man. So Air Specialist, he's gonna to win this race. He's gonna have to have the stint of his life at the moment.
Yeah, and checking the penalty situation, Lawrence and Sir Quinniff both on 50 seconds. But looking up at the front, it is Xexter with 3 seconds, Aero Specialist with 6, Aaron JS with 3, and Jordan with 6. And Gazaman, so both Red Bulls with no penalties.
Yeah, Mike in 15th place going aggressive. He's going for a set of soft tyres to try and go to the end. That's quite an aggressive strategy for the Alfa Romeo man. It's going to be side by side with just Mikey. Just Mikey should have the line here. Yes, he does. But Mike's going to go around the outside. That's a good move there into the chicane, but still side by side. And but Mikey should have the inside line here. Yes, he does. But he outbreaks though, does he? He gets moved done, but Mikey will have DRS down this straight. But Mike's got really good traction. I believe Mike might have the move done on Mikey. It's pretty confusing having Mike racing Mikey. It's lucky Mike's teammate is in the pits.
Yeah, now Aero Specialist, he got in front of Gazaman, so that buffer between Gazaman and Truth NRP is completely gone. And Aero Specialist, he'll probably be getting some team orders done here by Zach Brown and Lawrence E. I think he'll have to concede position. Dex Dexter, I imagine he'll be pitting in, so it will be a fight between Truth NRP and Aero Specialist, at least on track, where Lawrence D, he's going to go down the inside of Dex Dexter, I imagine, into the chicane. Yes, he is, and a lovely overtake into turn 8 and 9, and Aero Specialist manages to get in front of him on the exit as Dex Dexter got shoved out wide a little on the apex.
Yeah, Dexter, I think he's trying the best not to get involved in an incident, but yeah, the bang wheels there, and Dexter actually had to get out of it, and now Gazman's going back at Dexter. I wonder if Dexter will, I believe he'll go a couple more laps and put a set of softs on to the end, and maybe try to go for a fast lap point, as obviously inside the top 10 you do get one, and outside the top 10 you do get one. As Air Specialist, yeah, it's going to be let by. That is definitely yield from Lawrence, who's got 9 seconds more penalties. But Air Specialist he has done that a few times tonight. He has locked up and gone deep, but thankfully he didn't outbreak himself too much, and he was able to stay ahead. Now Lawrence will try and be a buffer to try and hold Gazaman back. But Gazaman's still got to get by Dexter, and Dexter is sort of holding each other. And this is allowing Aaron to come back into play as well. Aaron is coming back into the play here, and he's got the same amount of penalties as Aero Specialist. So Aaron, if Aaron avoids the penalties and Aero Specialist gets another one, Aaron might get a podium tonight.
He might do, and now is he going for a move on Gazaman? It sure does look like he's going to go down the inside. Potentially, no, he isn't. He's going to wait for the main straight and into the run into turn 13 and 14. Gazaman will have DRS on Dex Dexter, which will hinder his overtaking opportunity. And yeah, Aaron Shayes, he is a little bit too far away to make the move on him right now, as Gazaman catches up to Dex Dexter at an astronomical pace. And yeah, that leaves Gazaman with quite a healthy gap between him and the Ferrari.
Yeah, Gaza, I think, for our race pim driver, I think these hard tyres just give him no traction. He coming out the corners, he's just struggling because Dexter is able to pull away. And I wonder if Gaza's got a slight bit of damage, because no, he hasn't. He just shows how solid these hard tyres are, because out of the traction zone he's got no grip, and that's allowing Aaron JS to be all the back of the Red Bull man. The Red Bull man looked quite quick early on. I wonder if these going to hard tyres was a mistake for Red Bull man. I wonder if he had no mediums left though. I wonder if he had to go into hard tyres and just suck it.
That might have been the case, and I wouldn't be surprised, as the the hard tyres are definitely not the optimum tyre in the race. Now RNJS, he is right on the back of the Red Bull Racing Aston Martin, and now I think he'll be able to make the move, overtake mode engaged, GRS wide open, but he's a little bit too far away, and he has to sit back for another corner and potentially even for another lap.
Yeah, that's it's not working off gas this traffic. It's allowing the front three to pull away. Now Air Specialist is closing on the back of Truth and IP for the lead. And with the pace Air Specialist doing, he might just do this. He might get by and pull a gap, but he's going to have to do it this lap, I think. Because the laps are running out as Aaron Jez picks to get another penalty, so that's going to fall in, not going to drop him out the podium battle. Look how close Air Specialist to back of Truth, but it gets very sideways, and that's gonna ensure he won't get past in this straight, but he's going to look to get a good exit hairpin. But Air Specialist, he runs wide there. He is on the ragged edge, Air Specialist. I've been aboard him a few times tonight, and he is quite quick, but I believe that car is not the easiest handling.
It does not look like it, and Aero Specialist now, they both have a lot of ERS to play with, and Aero Specialist, he has a lot of fuel to play with, more than a lap worth of it, so he'll definitely be using the most of it. But Truth and RP doing a good job defending as Gasman, he gets in front of Dex Exter as Dex Exter pits in, so no more DRS for Gazaman, and that will definitely hurt him in the fight for fourth position while trying to defend against RNJS.
Yeah, and Air Specialist just passed Truth for the lead into turn 1, turn 2. Air Specialist went to the inside and into turn 1, and he did it around the outside turn 2, so the McLaren man is back in the lead. And at the moment we've got McLaren, Red Bull, so I have to say, the McLaren guys have got penalties, so at the moment Truth NRP is going to win the race, but if he wants to win the race, he's going to have to just hang on the back of the McLaren man, try and keep him DRS, as Gazaman is going to close on the back of Lawrence, but these hard tyres are not offering up the grip. He really is struggling at this stint, and Truth for NRP, I'm going to say he's favourite at the moment, but Aero Specialist, he has got the potential to pull away, but I'm not sure 6 seconds pulling away. I think he may just fall short.
And True NRP, he is catching up to Aero Specialist, as Aero does not have any DRS to play with, which does hurt him as Aero Specialist goes on the grass a little, as RNJS, he gets in front of Gazaman. Gazaman, he'll try to go for a move back on him, but the Ferrari has DRS, so that won't work, and that is RNJS back in front of Gazaman, as I'm skipping all the action.
Yeah, but his front six definitely quite close. As Hooky picks another penalty. I believe he just got by Thomas for 9th place. Dex is in 10th. He's got Mike and Matthias going side by side, battling for 12th place there. Mike just get through for final points place as Matthias is pitting. I wonder if he's thinking fastest lap point, as obviously you do get that outside top 10, and that potential could have 13 drivers score points like Saquinif. Picks up yet another penalty. I'd say his name has popped the penalties a lot, and he has got 21 seconds. He's not going to get disqualified, but he's going to drop out the points. And if I was Saquinif, I'd maybe just pit and go for fast lap here, because I don't think he's going to get a point on track, because his penalty is going to drop way down in order. It's a decent qualifying lap, but the race hasn't gone well for him.
And Lawrence, he has 21 seconds, so that's definitely a double double McLaren podium out the window, as Truth NRP here is closer than ever to Aero Specialist, 3:10 separating him and the McLaren, while Specialist, he locks up into turn 1, a bit of a tradition for him currently. So with 5 laps remaining, it is anyone's for the win.
Yeah, and interesting enough, Aero Specialist now got a 7th rank of gas, so Aero Specialist at the moment is going to finish 2nd place, unless he picks up another penalty, and he's another warning, and he will get a penalty, so he's going to have to keep it careful. Mind you, Gaz is on 2-1s as well, so anything can happen is fine for laps, but Truth NRP is doing the job he needed to do. He's hanging on the back of that McLaren, letting DRS drag him along, and unless anything amazing happens, he's going to take this race win. And on his first race in the points tier as kill plane, he's had a solid job, I'd say, a little bit under the radar, but he's doing a good job. He's catching the Gazaman, and he can maybe get a podium. He's looking quite good. If he can get, he's definitely gaining on Gazzaman. Gazzaman, these hard tyres are not working for him. Kilplane was a second quicker that previous lap, and let's say he's looking good for a podium for the AlphaTauri man.
It definitely is, and if he does get in front of Gazzaman, that's going to be amazing for him. Helmut Marko definitely won't be happy as he overtakes the sister team. We see how much Gazzaman is struggling on the hard compound of tyres, as Truth and RP, he picked up a time penalty.
Yeah, and that means there's only 3 seconds, so at the moment, especially, it's only a 3-second gap, which is a lot more manageable than a 6, and so Chief NRP has to keep on DRS to drag him along. So I believe Air Special is capable of pulling a few tenths each lap, but this DRS is just helping Truth to win the race. But that penalty, he did not want that penalty so late on. That could be a critical penalty, as Kilplane is so close to DRS to Gazzaman for 5th place, which should become a battle for 3rd place at the moment. So that's a podium battle there, as Lawrence will drop down the order. Lawrence, he will score points, but it's going to drop a long way down. Truth and RP is just doing a solid job here. Good for him as third down the order. We've got Huki in 8th place. A solid job from him from the rear of the grid. And Dexter in 10th, Gwyneth in 11th, and we've still got 15 runners, which is quite incredible. That's good to see. There are not many DNFs tonight.
Yeah, no, Truth and RP, he is losing a little bit of time to Aero Specialist, but I don't think that will hinder the American too much with 3 laps remaining. Yes, he does have worse of tyres, but it does not look likely that Aero Specialist will gain that 3 seconds on Truth.
No, this DRS is just playing into Truth's hands very nicely, and you just got to be careful. Didn't pick up any more warnings, Truth, as they both lock up into the hairpin. I believe these tyres and brakes are starting to have it a bit, because this track is known to be a bad track for brake wear. Truth and RP's rear tyres, they're in a lot worse state than Air Specialist. These last 2 laps, they may be difficult for Truth. He's doing what he needs to do so far though, but he just needs to stay in that DRS. And at the moment he's dropping out of it, but he's still got it for the previous detection point. And I believe without a DRS, I believe Air Specialist would have had the gap already, because Truth's tyres are in a really bad state.
They I'd say in a shocking state right now. 47 on his rear left with some TAS insight, and that does not fare well for the Red Bull driver. He is keeping it within that 1 second, luckily for him. If it was back, I forgot when DRS was introduced, but before DRS it would have been done for, in my opinion, for Truth.
Yeah, 2011 when DRS was reduced, and Gazzaman is hanging on to what will be 3rd place, but I have to say that I think that hard tyre strategy was a bit of a mistake, as Truth and RP is doing all he has to do. Only 2 and a bit laps left. Aero Specialist is doing all he can to pull away, but that DRS is frustrating him so much. But at the moment, Truth and RP's not got DRS, but I believe it's too late for the McLaren man, as Lawrence in 3rd place. Well, he's shown good pace. Our guy was on the cold list this week, but he's going to drop down the order sadly due to penalties. Aaron JS in 4th. Solid job for him. And Gazzaman in 5th. Kilplane in 6th. Jordan 7th. Hookie in 8th. Thomas in 9th. Thomas may jump up some, no penalties. Aaron JS is in the pits. So that's an interesting call. He's going to go for a fast lap point. Maybe Aaron JS thought his tyres weren't going to go to the end, but he's going to drop down the order a lot here.
Yeah, so Aaron JS, he will probably get the fastest lap award at outside the top 10, as Truth and RP, he just has Sebastian Vettel, and he lost 5/10 of a second, which means he's probably going to be out of that DRS for a next lap, which enables Aero Specialist to try and get outside that 3 seconds, and for him to win the race.
Yeah, Aero Specialist has got a lot of battery left. He's got 50% battery. If I was him, I'd be draining that battery down the straight, try pulling in further gap, and the gap is up to 1.8 seconds, 1.9 seconds. I tell you what, this is going to be very tight this final lap, because that McLaren guy has got much better tyres, and Chief Fan IP has been saved by DRS in my view, and now he's not got it, and he's going to have to pray and hope he's got enough grip left them tyres as the final lap's beginning already.
Yeah, and point four, a few left in Aero Specialist. 1 second the gap has to extend for Aero Specialist to win the Grand Prix, and it is reminding me of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton back in the Austrian Grand Prix at the start of the 2020 season.
Yeah, as you pull another 2 attempts to the first second, it's going to be very tight, you know, as Aaron JS just passed the Quinney going for a fast lap attempt. But yeah, it's going to be very tight. I believe Truth, you know, it's hard to tell at the moment. He's lost 4 attempts this lap, but there's some really big traction zones coming up.
As Aero Specialist with a 3-second time penalty, so that ruins his hope, I think, for a win, as he completely locks up into the hairpin. I think that was just out of frustration there. And Truth NRP 2.5 seconds behind him. He could have definitely done it. He just extended a little bit too much at turn 9 on the inside, and it did not help him. Now coming across turn 13 and turn 14 is Aero Specialist, who wins on track, but it will be Truth NRP coming across the finish line to take the first win of podium tier in season 18.
Yeah, and you know, look at that gap there, 2.9 seconds. Without that mistake, he would have done it, as Gazaman gets third, Killplane fifth, good job for him, Jordan fifth, or Thomas in fifth, Jordan sixth with 2 AT drivers, Hookie in seventh, so job for him, Lawrence crossed the line in eighth, but Dexter jumps in, Lawrence up all the way down to 9th place from third. Aaron Jess, what can he do? Fast lap, surely. Yes, he does 10th place. So Quinneth, he's got to score points, I think. Yes, he will. He'll score 11th place. Good job for him. Chunders will drop to 12th. And we'll stay in 12th place. Just Mikey, though, he may get him on penalties. As Chunders is going to cross the line now. But Just Mikey may jump up, get the final point. Yes, he does. Chunders in 13th. Matthias will cross the line in 14th place. With Mike in 15th, and the Epic Scorpion has already been lapped. So that was our One Hub Season 1 round race, and what a win for Chief NRP. Obviously he won 2 races in the prospect tier last season. He's definitely got a great start in the points tier this season.
Yeah, and right now on the podium we see our winner, and it is Truth NRP, the American, doing an amazing job in his first race in points tier, getting promoted from the bottom tier, and it is a Red Bull 1-3 as well.
Yeah, good start of the Red Bull team. Yes, the McLaren guys definitely did have the pace to compete with them, but the penalties, they need to work on the penalties if they want to continue the championship this season. As Aaron JS did pick up the fastest lap point inside the top 10. Outside the top 10, it went to Mike. So yeah, so quick one down for you again. Truth NRP in first, Aero Specialist second, Gazaman in third, Killplane in fourth, Thomas in fifth, Jordan sixth, Hookie in seventh, Dexter in eighth, Lawrence in ninth, Aaron in 10th, so Quinneth in 11th, so 2 points for him. Just Mike in 12th, just getting that final points finish. Chunders outside the points of 13th, Matthias 14th, Mike 15th, Scorpion 16th, MCFC, Flace and Delta all DNF'd.
So that is the end of the Grand Prix, and what an eventful one it was. I asked the drivers earlier on if they could put on a good show, and they definitely delivered. And just before we end the stream, who is your driver of the day?
Well, for hanging on the dead ties in the race, and obviously, and not only getting one time penalty, I'm going for my race winner chief, the race winner chief NRP, and I'm going to ask him, how were them ties in the race? They look shot. How did you get them to the end and win the race?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, and my driver of the day, bit of a boring pick, but it must be Aero Specialist. It was only that one penalty at the end that ruined his Grand Prix, and my question to him will be, what was going through your head on the last lap, especially when you got outside of that 3 seconds and then immediately got that time penalty?
Yeah, that's a critical blow for him because he would have won it by a few hundredths without that because he definitely had the pace in the race. And obviously next week we do have the Singapore Grand Prix. Watch, obviously this is a quite short track. Singapore track's a very long track and it's going to be a very long race. What's your thoughts on the Singapore circuit?
Singapore, we might not see as much action as we did here tonight, but when we do see the action, it's going to be very special. Walls right up the track, and there's probably going to be quite a lot of DNFs, unlike today.
Yeah, it was quite a clean race today. I was very happy with that. It was good fun. So we do shout out to our race premium drivers: Aaron JS, Gazman, Lawrence, Just Mikey, Flace, Delta, and Sequinif, and obviously our ERT drivers who have been sponsored by the league, got Thomas, Dexter, and Jordan. So shout out to them for supporting the league. And if you do want to go to race premium, check out the website. You will get 1 year free entry to the league. So if you are interested in joining the league as a race driver, that's probably the best value option for you. I don't know about you, Carol, but I think I need a drink of water because that race is very exciting.
Yeah, it was, and it's sad to see it end now. I would have commentated for another few laps, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it is over. Round two, as you mentioned before, Singapore. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, One Hub Racing, and on Twitch now, as we are live streaming 2 tiers a week here. And I was your commentator, Carol Malecki, also known as at @CatNameMinty, and I was here with Jamie Met. And thank you for watching. See you soon.